Zoo. Woohoo! Yeah. So yeah, I recognize a handful of faces, but please become regulars. It's important. This is not a lie. It seems like a really funny thing to open the night with, but we got a 5-day pay up or get out, like not quite eviction notice, but like that sort of thing, right? A little bit of a misunderstanding. We're a few months behind, but anyways. If not tonight, come back, buy some books. You know, we're going to have an Indiegogo campaign in beginning of mid-January, and don't let it be a bummer, because I fended it off, and that's not easy to do these days either, but I fended it off, and yeah, I just have to come with 250 extra bucks a month to pay back rent off, blah, blah, blah. A classic independent bookstore story, really.
In 1983, the poet J. Wright gave his first and essentially last interview in the journal Callaloo. Wright proposed his poetic methodology as follows. Poetry is a concentrated, polysemous literary act which undertakes the discovery, explication, interpretation, exploration, and transformation of experience. By concentrated, I mean the kind of intensity and density that give great weight to suggestiveness, to resonance. Polysemous here means capable of translation from one meaning to another. Can we say a poem discovers anything? Yes, we can. It first finds the experience in all its complexity to be revealed and talked about. I talk this way to avoid begging the question of the given. There are no givens in poetry, not even your own feelings. One does not recreate an emblematic state of anything. One works to create the act of becoming aware, attentive, active, and transformed. I take the term explication from Quine's work in Logic. Explication, he says, is elimination, beginning with an expression or form of expression that is somehow troublesome and resolving it by some new channel. Explication is analysis. Interpretation is another logical term I have appropriated. Interpretation is the opposite of abstraction. Abstraction begins with a real thing and derives a concept. Interpretation begins with an empty concept and tries to find some real thing to embody it. You must notice the importance of an operation here, an act of fitting. These last two terms, explication and interpretation, should call attention to one of my basic assumptions, that naked perception, just seeing something directly expressed, is misprision in the highest degree. Every perception requires explication and interpretation. Exploration means just that. A simple report of experience, if you can make such a thing, isn't good enough. Finally, the whole process of making leads to transformation, the radical creation of experience, the making of a new body and new heart, the breathing of a new spirit. I must say here, before I end with this question, that I believe all true poets do have theories, and that they are very conscious makers. I give no credit to the taster who says, oh, I don't know, or you work so hard and hope that what you're doing is right, or I don't know where I'm going with this. As the Dogons say, speech is knowledge. An unconscious artist is a contradiction in terms. Callback books, which is another way of saying myself, Lucas M. Rivera, and those that we hold poetically close, works and will continue to work to deserve Wright's methodological proposal. Our first reader tonight is GILLIAN Olivia Blythe HAMEL, who we see as working towards the potentiality of this very light.
I can defend myself in the after, No home less invaded by a hammer. On the 28th of January, I forgot ballet a dark hallway, thinking I can still smell the gas, forced my hand to kill others, where there is water or mud or the problem of water. Helicopters are no rescue. You wrong to me on the roof. I know I've never been to Twin Peaks, miscounted 14 rises, little stabs of money in the flats. We are meant to live in the flats at night, still the east, a brother whose face I don't recognize. Time contracts around the edges, crossing the heart country, crane white, feet in the blank, we blank my nights. Upstairs, I can't tell if it's day, draining water down the back. The problem is holiness. I wait for sound and smoke out the dark on historic fingers. Mischief whites out the night, and words roll round the clock, not mine. Into after concrete hollows out, what purpose to come here, to make girls louder? To school, the lion, the untranslated. I was rewarded for dullness, unremarked day and partial honesty, commemorating glass. A girl schooled wrong, or number. What has had to learn to be the city? Accidental education, when screaming on the ceiling, the lion's tongue. A bow drawn into mud and water. Pull growth from the water, make the man before it dries up. Men or holy beasts stalk the skyline, spitting protein. Make a man inside her who can tell her how she came to this place, made her fiction. As a maid seed will settle better, machine's predator the bay. Because fantasy, the better logic. Why choose his companion? She's the long black fox, boots to the knees, our house is want and a sinkhole. The horses grow death on their faces, the old man, cast in clay, moves. Mud wants the babies, the girls rise as rock and tide.
His work represents for us an endeavor to a metaphysical poetry without apology.
Pick up where Gillian left off, I just want to thank Lucas and Sharon and COLBY Books for putting out this chapbook, and also putting out Pablo's chapbook. I think they're starting a really great work and really great series. Also thanks to Eric and Bookzoo. It's really great for hosting the reading. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be reading with Gillian and Aaron. Never would have thought I'd read with Aaron Shurin, so it's really great. And so this first poem's called Gravity Space. And it's after Durer's Owl, this kind of watercolor that Durer did. He has a lot of watercolors that are really great. Mostly of nature, there's like this rabbit and this sedge and all these things. So Gravity's Face. Near animal blue lifts the eye aside, abruptly unopens, twice blooms the quiet look, surfaces, another purple figure stands. This one's called, entitled Entangled in Fire, and it's for Lucas. Our digging shadows open some bottom belief in others. Some practice walked in, is praise in your hand. A pace fall hastens, the world pushes with their horns. Our neighbors, part angry remiss, demands aye or no in all its branches. Our actions hold forth the sun. Bear letters, make choice of a stand, put lift in our hearts, know what freedom is. An abyss without our can, and cattle adventure their lives. I am carried on, find and feel such strife, dresses the garden we both hold upon. This one's a little bit longer, and it has a quote by Spencer in the beginning from his Epithalamion, and it just says, "The which do endless matrimony make." It's called Morning's Porch. Begins in the legs, there are no bridges. Windows fill the stone so high our eyes hardly meet in hers. Today, lined with waiting, a repetition of people names. Butterflies stutter along, loop completely, a piece, a wave they raise as a house to hear eternity through passing trains, bound for the distant islands, one last name remains in motion. There are no bridges, the water through passes, the sea acquires an entrance, we ride, one iris lights the air, dawn's perfumed figure, perplexed twinge, the signs it breathes from her, remains, pieces of cloud speak from her shoulders, a line built around quiet speaks our lives, birthday flames and balloons, launched against sky, blue-black light, washed in your body. A line built around quiet, butterflies flake from stone, enter the sea, children almost understand. First bloom shines, binds the days, three-storied music, morning's porch makes of us tall spigots. Shadows, magic fails, finds another figure, it happens in a cafe, waiting 20 minutes through waves, sharp ravishes, violent light. Children almost understand, planted evenly in names, and horizon shine clear through the dark, happen days, hard silence, grinds between presents, changes directions, shadows, wildflowers haul over pieces of the sea, a small lunch eats at our anger, loose crumbs left over, brilliant colors, broken waters, whisper to clouds. Changes directions, marriage makes waves, a mosaic, sets space in a tilted line, forever instant, rain walks the waste spaces, the next minute undresses at our window, water green attention, winds ahead, tall spigot silence, finds infant-ized pieces, surface and mountainous approach, an iris, lights the air, fits the soul everywhere.
If not for poets like Shurin, callback books would not exist.
Well, I gotta get out more because at home I'm just a schmuck, I assure you. I've never been on a sailboat, and yet, once I was a sailor in a town with no name, hey nani nani or go cat go. I had a red mountain bike and 2 skateboards, wheeled confetti, but my skiff was my Uber pal. I could split the seam of any vector, river, lake, or draw, with coots sputtering from mangrove jumbles, surprised by my sudden proximity, and the imprint of my oar in the liquid sky barely visible. Some called me Micah Glint, and some called me Mary Louise, and both were fine with me, depending on which shoes I wore, sleek rubber or nubby hemp, woven in strips or knit from fallen leaves. I would cut through downtown, squat in the slats, as low and clean as a needle. Gravel showers parting, clattering gray canyon air. Once I was a sailor with my long hair flowing, with a satchel of pink apples and a bouquet of peas, tendrils trailing. In a stub of an afternoon removed from sequence, heretic of her craft. In a flat eddy where you watched from the shore or corner or car or chair, to whom I waved relentlessly as I glided past, uncoiling my way in circles or arcs, such as cursive letters make. In that gap, in that rounded space, in my silent groove, like a paper boy in a paper boat, turning as I was turning. And such is the mystery of poetry. Once I was a sailor in a fiction of the sea for a made-up self on a boat of text. I was happy as a comma when the waves broke, lifting me like a magic carpet into the changeable mist, then driving me down through the indigo gulf on a slant of ablutions, erasure. And what of the mist with its long gray hair and crystal kiss, a little template of the fallen sky, thickened for disappearing acts? What of its rolling folds, rich as a bisque, seething like a surname or a lexicon well? And what of the gulf and its plot-driven plunge, its quicksilver slippages, darting eels, and leading clues of bluey holes descending? Once I was, or could have been, or may yet be, a magnificent sailor, spelled out on a graph of azure rills, with hologram eyes that tell of spillover holds, or vanishing dives, or shedding cells. I bob in the chop, wail in the spray, plunder the swells. And what of the was, with its cargo of facts? What of the once, with its blown open hatch, and flowering mast, and panoramic sails? And furthermore, once or twice I was a sailor, 3 times, 4 times, 5. I said I was, or said to be, a sailor, or a sail, or the wind streaking, or a sleek, hollow hull skimming the rolling waves, or the waves. What if the wind tore at my back to strip the canvas from the wood, free the oars, cleave the ribs? What if the sea was just a paper view, a fold of sky on a crease of blue? What if the diagram of stars, the spray, the bounding zeal, were what I was told, or what I told, pure air, once or twice or 10 in the ear, and out again, a swinging door? And what if the telling stopped, the alphabet unspooled, the leather notebook closed with a snap, done, and sailing back as that? Well, I said, or it was said, once I was a thing, moving over a great thing. I felt the forward pull of something swift, keen as an arrow, clean as a slice. The thing I was slid across the day, skimmed the night, and once or again, my long hair was flying, flying. As the wind blows. The crowd at the beach, the white sun, the fireworks coming, hum of the copters. My friend said, the sky cut open and the whale breaches, a rider on its back. I listened to them talk, we this, we that, as though a classroom coughed me up in a dream. The small pods of people as the wind blows, the bikes streaking wheel first in a constant spin down, the run of foliage thick as a ball gown, let them go. The bird formations, the dark armada of hills, the waiting barge monolithic, let it go. The stomach smooth as porcelain, let me go. I said mortality as if it were an appetizer, and paradise as though my skin itched. The day was long, short, slow, whizzing by, magic carpet. The double knots were tied 200 to the inch, with a sheen that mimicked firelight off the pile, thick as whale skin, yet soft as a sparrow. Where I lay my head, will lay my head. In a called back sampler. It's called Here is the Day. The day was hot is hot. My skin was hot is hot. The sticky table hot. The metal pen hot in my hand. The glare metallic off the concrete berm. Here is the day, laid out like a plate of noodles, chewy as a novel, thick as July. Somebody mapped the coordinates and just laid it down. If I am in a chair, then I am the chair. If I am on the street, I am the street. What was I saying? The day has made me, it slit my brain and rearranged the parts that made the day I thought I was in. Forgot the broken car window, forgot the money lost. A light bird on the high breeze, though there are none, is none. If I am in the poem, then I am the poem. Or so I thought or hoped to be. I'll have to see, rewritten or rephrased. The page is hot. I found the day. The day is slit. I meet. I met my way. The way is laid. I eat. I ate today. As well as, she said it tastes like it. Okay. Still walking. Look at the sky. It reeks of projection. Look at my eyes. They're tools of the sky. Look at my feet. Still walking. Which way are you walking? Ask the birds. What are you singing? A walk-along song. How does it go? Bird, dome, pink, breeze, mind light in the alphabet trees. More like that. Look at my smile. It goes up to the right. Is that my sly inflection? A mark of abjection? The pitch of glory? The angle of erection? All that, but rhymier. I watched a man who bought a bouquet. Pleasure made him wiggle as he walked away. He swished unawares. The peonies winked and smiled to the right. What was he singing? A wiggling song. How did it go? Back and forth. Ah, the world's a stage. Look at the page.
So we just want to.
Friends of mine whistling. He makes good background music.
We just wanted to thank everyone for coming out, as well as our readers. We also want to thank Debbie and Bruce Klein for their patronage in making our first chapbooks happen.